If you ever come to my office, you'll see the portraits of Lincoln and Reagan.
Because they're both Republicans, and you like to pretend that you're anything like them, and you're fucking not.
And I firmly believe
that if Lincoln was alive today, he'd be a Democrat. True.
if Reagan gave us advice,
he would say, I don't recall. Well, I would just tell them you don't remember. That's always gotten me out of everything.
Would say, if you believe your principles bring people greater freedom, you should be happy about it.
Happy about what? Yes, I'm sure William Wallace was very happy that they cut his genitals off and then used a giant slicing hook up his abdomen until they got to his xiphoid process, and then cracked his sternum and opened his chest and exposed it to the birds and did everything they could to keep him alive while they pecked at his insides. Because, you know, he was doing good for everybody after he yelled freedom.
I've always been excited that I've been a happy conservative.
Till now.
But I've always believed that I've been so fortunate to be an American.
Okay. We all are, stupid. Also, why are you fortunate to be an American when the whole country's going to hell? I thought we were going to hell. Shit, if Trump isn't president tomorrow, we won't have a country anymore. Right.
My journey to this office was something people wouldn't understand.
Yeah, well, I mean, and your swift removal from it was even more puzzling, and unless they've met you. I mean, on paper, in the future, you're welcome to being a curious asterisk in the House Speaker's world. But hey, look at the bright side. As far as Republican speakers of the House, you will always be your bullshit, short-term, 27 Scaramucci instant in the great scope of things as speaker will always be eclipsed by Denny Hastert, the fucking pedophile. So, who the Republicans kept in there as the longest-serving House Speaker ever.
I grew up in a town of Bakersfield, California, the son of a firefighter.
And you just decided to what? Get a government job and not work for a living? Why didn't you start a business? Conservative my ass.
The grandson of immigrants.
Right, like lots of people.
Parents worked hard, the youngest in my family.
So you didn't really have to do anything? You're youngest in your family, you were the protected little one, so everybody else was picking up after you, and explains a lot.
Didn't have great wealth, and got out of high school, I didn't have great grades. Couldn't get a scholarship, went to community college.
It shows. It's all starting to make sense.
Flipped cars to try to pay my way through it.
Through community college? So you just turned over cars and what, you set them on fire? Or, oh, you mean fixing up cars and selling them for a little extra spending cash for weed money. Let's be honest. His parents paid for his community. For community college? What the fuck is community college cost you in Bakersfield? Seriously. $8,000? When he went, what was it, $3,000?
Went to visit some buddies.
Uh-oh.
Away in college for a weekend, stopped at the grocery store to cash a check, and I won the lottery.
Well, my dad used to say, if you don't think God has pity on stupid people, look who he gives money to.
One of the first in California. It was before Biden economics. It was only 5,000, but it went much further back then.
By the way, because of Biden's plans, community college wouldn't cost you anything right now.
Took my folks to dinner.
$5,000 for shrimp, and blew it all in one meal.
The majority of the rest of the money into the stock market and did pretty well. The next semester, I took a break from school.
Because I wasn't learning anything, and they kicked me out.
I went to buy a franchise, but no one said they would sell me one.
Is that how it works? Is that how franchises work?
I was only 20 years old. But I learned then never to give up. So I opened my own business, selling sandwiches.
Just sandwiches, just in the street, standing there, pants around my ankles, sandwich in hand, selling sandwiches. Something no one had ever done before. I introduced the people of Bakersfield to the concept of sandwich. They called me the Earl of Sandwich, and I would say, "My name's not Earl," and they'd go, "Didn't you go to college?" And you go, "No, I left." And that explains it.
3 things I learned. First,
Bread on top, bread on bottom, something in the middle. It's a genius. It's a roadmap to success.
first to work, last to leave, last to be paid.
First to work, last to leave, last to be paid. Well, no, the customer is actually paying you every time they buy something primarily. You pay your staff, but you're taking the profit. Never mind. This is dumb.
I wanted to finish my college degree. At that time, no one in my family had finished a 4-year degree. I did pretty well. I now had enough money that I could pay my way through school as long as I went to Cal State.
As long as I got a break on in-state tuition, which is something my party is against.
So I sold my business, going to school. I opened up the local paper and said, be a summer intern in Washington, D.C. with my local congressman.
I was like, that's a great way to get fondled by an older man.
I did not know this man, but I thought he'd be lucky to have me, so I applied.
Is this how the sandwich happened as well? I'm very concerned.
You know what he did? He turned me down.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, he heard you talk, and probably, I don't even know if he got through the first sentence.
But you want to know the end of the story?
Yes, you're the shortest serving Speaker of the House in history. It's hilarious.
I got elected to a seat I couldn't get an internship for. I ended up being the 55th Speaker of the House.
Which is for that long.
One of the greatest honors. I loved every minute.
Yes, and interestingly enough, you can count it in terms of minutes. Most speakers can't. You can actually add up the minutes.
The one thing I will tell you is,
I hate Matt Gaetz. Sorry.
doing the right thing isn't always easy.
Really? Has anybody else found? Is that true? I'm not sure. Huh.
But it is necessary.
Ah.
I don't regret standing up for choosing governing over grievance.
Governing over governing, whatever. I mean, hey, I don't know what the Bakersfield accent is.
It is my responsibility. It is my job. I do not regret negotiating. Our government is designed to find compromise. I don't regret my efforts to build coalitions and find solutions.
I do regret listening to the Freedom Caucus because I thought I could talk my way around them.
I was raised to solve problems, not create them.
I'm sorry. We're going to need to talk to some of your sandwich customers to see if that's indeed true.
So I may have lost a vote today, but
No, you did. It wasn't may or may not. You did. It happened. You may have. You did have.
as I walk out of this chamber, I feel fortunate to have served the American people.
So you're retiring? You're leaving? Oh, great. So the Republicans are down a whole vote? Are you leaving?
I leave the speakership with a sense of pride, accomplishment, and yes, optimism.
That one day Matt Gaetz will end up in jail.
From the day I entered politics, my mission has always been to make tomorrow better than today.
And tomorrow will be better if I leave politics. So
I fought for what I believe in, and I believe in this country of America.
This country of America. He's got a way with words. I believe in this country of America. Of the United, which has states in it. This country of America.
My goals have not changed.
Except they've just been truncated.
My ability to fight is just in a different form.
Yes, it is. It's more akin to like when someone has their hand on your forehead when you're a kid and you're just doing this.
You need 218. Unfortunately, 4% of our conference can join all the Democrats and dictate who can be the Republican speaker in this House.
Or even create a Democratic one.
I don't think that rule is good
No.
for the institution.
Oh, it's not good.
Apparently, I'm the only one.
I'm the only one who's walking out of chambers today.
I believe I can continue to fight, maybe in a different manner.
Yes. Maybe in a more effective, less ineffective way.
I will not run for speaker again.
Well, come on. Why not? I mean, what are you going to do? Make the process look fucked up?
I'll have the conference pick somebody else.
Will you? They're going to listen to you now that they've kicked you out? Are you going to help pick your successor? That'll go well.
I hope you realize that every day I did the job, regardless whether you underestimated me or not.
No, it looks like some of us overestimated you, but I think everybody else just estimated. We guesstimated right.
I wanted to do it with a smile.
Did you? Maybe you shouldn't have smiled as much. Maybe I think because apparently the guy that got you kicked out doesn't even fucking know how to smile. He's got angry, kind of creepy Disney villain scowl and then creepy grin. Matt Gaetz' smile is not a smile. It's a like, I'm gonna get her in the van kind of a smile.
I grew to enjoy you.
Uh-huh.
Even on your toughest days and your questions.
Even in your toughest days and your questions, when you were asking me stuff about the things that I would do with the stuff.
I could always tell what day it was based upon your question.
The calendar didn't help or whatever. I'm just saying, didn't you have someone in charge of your schedule? I'm just saying that there are lots of, like even Alexa can tell you what day it is if you really want to know.
Monday, you would ask if I could pass the bill. Tuesday was whether the rule would pass. Wednesday was the greatest challenge ever to my speakership. And Thursday, when we passed the bill, you didn't think it was a very big deal. And it all started again on Friday.
You just passed the CR on Saturday. So were you just off by a little? Maybe it was a holiday, probably.
I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, if I was you, I would. I would change a lot. I really would. I would have held firm on that. It takes 5 people to kick me to the curb, and you motherfuckers got to stand and say why. Not one individual person can do a motion to vacate. That's fucking ridiculous. Also, no, I'm not agreeing to that kind of stuff because we don't have the votes to get the stuff through the Senate. And the whole point isn't to just send shit up to die or suffocate the fucking government. I'm just saying maybe, just maybe, people might have respected that strength enough. Maybe not, because your fucking party is a bunch of lunatics, but...
I do believe I got a new portrait in there, too, of Teddy Roosevelt. You all know the man in the arena. One of my favorite parts of it, who errs, who comes up short again and again, but there is no effort without error and shortcoming.
Right, but that's not the point of effort. I think you're mistaken there. The point of effort is not error and shortcoming. It's an inevitable aspect of it, but it just seems like you're aiming. It seems like your entire party is aiming for error and shortcoming. It's just feature, not a bug shit.
Who spends himself in a worthy cause, who knows the triumph of high achievement, and if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly.
That's from the Lorax, right?
I always like to take a risk.
And it's a risk to put your career in the hands of someone who would allegedly dose a 16-year-old girl and fly her on a private plane to Georgia so he can fuck her out of state because his buddy who makes fake IDs for girls to be flown out of state had just been put in jail and he didn't have access to them anymore. I don't know who I'm talking about. It's just, I'm spitballing. God damn, this is boring, though. This is the era of Trump. Don't you know you're supposed to walk out and go, this is fucking bullshit. I was railroaded. These assholes don't know what the fuck they're doing. Matt Gaetz is a dickhead and he ought to be in jail. I don't know why the fuck we didn't throw him in jail when we had our chance. This is my fault. This dude's a fucking criminal. He's a creep, and there's not a single person in this entire chamber, not a single reporter or a single person in his goddamn district that would let him babysit for their fucking daughters. And they're gonna look at me like I'm the fucking bad guy. Bullshit. And then turn over the podium and walk off. I mean, have we learned nothing?
Saturday, I took a risk for the American public. Regardless what...
No, you didn't, by the way. You got rid of a risk to the American public, but a risk to your speakership. You took a risk to yourself for normalcy. That's fucked up. The fact that being normal is a risk. Do you recognize, again, this is like the Trump dunk about, Letitia James ran on getting us. And she won. People fucking hate you. You suck at your job.
Anybody says, no one knew whether that would pass. The Democrats didn't want that bill.
Maybe it's your speaking voice. Maybe that's why they got rid of you. Because this is fucking, honest to God. For the Speaker of the House, there's just it's like this wispy, condescending, little kind of, I don't know. What happened to me? Here I am, alone in front of 3 flags for no reason. Why couldn't I be speaker for a year? I'm alone, and no one likes me. I'm gonna go back to Baker's Field where I'm gonna flip those cars. I'm gonna flip those cars. I'm going back to college, trying to get a sandwich on. It's the shortest speaker in the world, the musical, starring Kevin McCarthy. Carthy.
Yes, they pull a fire alarm. Yes, they do their conga line. Yes, they wanted to delay. But it was all for the American people. I could not look the troops in the eye and say I would not pay them.
Like Matt Gaetz could.
For those who spoke on the floor, I thank them for their positive talks.
And the other ones who spoke on the floor that actually ousted me, fuck you! I'm sorry. Sorry. It's not something the speaker should say. I'm not the speaker anymore. Fuck you!
I don't know what those who
is going on. I don't know what the job entailed. I don't know how this ever happened. I was just a guy trying to sell sandwiches.
who voted against and said there was some deal, they were never a part of any deal. For those who said about what we accomplished, I'm proud of what we accomplished.
Me too. I'm plowed. I'm absolutely fucking hammered about I'm plowed of what we accomplished. 'Cause I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm fleas. And I won't forget the men who lied, gave that light to me, and I proudly stand slup next. This is where he's letting everybody know he's drunk. Hold on, wait.
Who said about what we accomplished, I'm proud of what we accomplished.
I'm plowed. Okay. Yeah, it seems like they plowed you. Moon River.
From the Parents' Bill of Rights to our energy bill. But if they want to hold me liable because the Senate didn't take it up or the president didn't take it up, that's politics for what I know.
For what I know? Jesus Christ. He has to be the worst speaker to actually speak. The shit they gave Nancy Pelosi and the way they crap on Joe Biden going, guy can't complete a sentence, and this motherfucker's where it means at country of America that I'm plowed at this point to find where I was to be, am now, being a person that used to be speaker, not anymore. I spoke to the ball, and they spoke back at me.
But the one thing I do know.
Oh boy. Well, I'm glad we're narrowing it down. Look how long the fucking where the red line is on this. This motherfucker didn't go on that long, did he?
This country is too great for small visions of those 8.
I see that this country's too great for the small visions of those 8. Hey, first of all, congrats on sticking the rhyme accidentally.
To any child that are listening and who are coming to visit.
To any child that are listening, the proper tense is proper word is. To any child that is listening, if you are listening, that are listening is.
Visit the Capitol. This is a place I want you to visit.
Yeah, kids love this kind of programming. They're by the way, if the kid stuck all the way through this, then they're already a page at the Capitol.
I liked opening the Capitol back up again. I
liked opening the Capitol also. The Capitol is a very strange part of the building. It's next to the plowed area.
I want you to visit. Mm-hmm. I liked opening the Capitol back up again.
Yeah, open the Capitol back up. Fucking hell, man. When you're trying to this is bad.
I liked taking away the metal detectors. I
liked taking away the metal detectors. The fuck is wrong with you? Don't take away the metal detectors. Are you out of your fucking mind? No, have metal detectors. Are you fucking stupid? What? I'm not offended by fucking metal detectors because I'm not trying to bring a gun into the fucking Capitol. And when I go in there, part of the thing about having a metal detector is I know nobody else has managed to get a fucking gun in there that's not supposed to have one. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh yeah, it's a good idea. I should do him at double speed. Hold on. Playback speed. Let's do 1.5 maybe. Is that all right?
Committees to being able to work. I like people being able to visit. I hope you like being able to be back in. I think it.
Yeah, they never had a chance. They never had trouble getting in. It's not. COVID's over. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's important that members actually show up to work as well.
Yeah, probably. I think that's it's clear. It's weird that a Speaker of the House would think that about the people who are actually working there. Why am I talking faster now?
You know, to paraphrase Lou Gehrig,
why would you do that? Why? I mean, to paraphrase Lou Gehrig, why do they have to name a disease after me? I mean, I appreciate you guys know I had it, but I did so many other things.
That I might have been given a bad break, but I truly still consider myself to be the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Dude, shut the you know, what an asshole. You're going to compare the fact that you were a short-term Speaker of the House held hostage by some nuts in your party to a dude that got Lou Gehrig's disease. And it was the fuck you didn't all right. You didn't get a wasting disease, you fucking egomaniac. The fuck's wrong with you? What an asshole. While you're at it, you know, I may have had a hard time, but you know, at least my legal troubles weren't up there with, or at least I left in better shape than Kennedy did. Jesus Christ. Fuck is wrong with you?
There's no other country that you could rise to be the 55th Speaker, not get an internship, and be able to fight for the American public. So,
right, I agree. We might need stricter standards in the future. I think stricter standards would have kept someone like Trump or George W. Bush out of the White House, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't necessarily think it's got to be an IQ test. That's got a bad connotation over time, but something that definitely there should be a better vetting process. I agree, Kevin.
It was my greatest honor to be able to do it. I love my conference well. I love to be able to ability. I've been a part of the.
I love to be able to ability. Liberty, liberty, liberty.
To be able to do it. I love my conference well. I love to be able to ability. I've been
I love it. That's all, folks.
Part of the leadership team for quite some time. We won 2 majorities. As leader, I'm proud of the fact we only gained races, only gained seats. I'm proud of the fact
we only gained races. You got gerrymandered seats, dumb fuck. You were supposed to have a red wave.
as a Republican leader, we elected more women. We elected more minorities. We expanded the base. I'm proud of the fact that for the 5 years I leader, 2 election cycles, we gained 5 more seats in California, 5 more in New York. We won in places no one thought we could win.
Because of population growth in 2 states that you guys aren't for, in areas where it's like shitty industrial areas.
Same thing
In California especially.
underestimate me. You always said we'd lose each time around. We kept gaining. I intend to make sure that we gain and keep the majority in the next cycle as well. With
Yeah, you're not going to.
that, I look forward to your positive questions. Yes. Oh, I'll look at that.
You still obviously command a lot of loyalty within the conference. We've heard you say approximately 10,000 times that you never give up. So I'm wondering, why did you make the decision not to put your name forward again and try to grind it out like you did when you won the job in the first place?
You know, you need 218 for the rule, 218 to move forward. And I'll never give up on the American people. That doesn't mean I have to be speaker to do what I have to do for the American people.
Yeah, it does, because the congressman from Bakersfield has 0 fucking impact on the greater electorate. Sorry. There's some districts that are just not impactful. You don't have a thumb or leverage. It's one of the reasons why it was easy to oust him. It's because he doesn't have any secondary power. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons he got the seat in the first place was because he's one of the most expendable people there. All right, and none of us need to hear his fucking questioning on it. Like, Jesus Christ. What a waste of time and money. What a waste of time and energy.